So let me quickly address this post by my lawyer, Deji Adeyanju, that have gone viral. I've seen it all over the blogs. If you open Facebook, it's all over Facebook, it's all over TikTok, and I opened Twitter just now. That's the first thing I'm seeing. So my lawyer, Deji Adeyanju, said, I call VDM every time to be careful and stop taking unnecessary risks, but it doesn't listen most of the time. If anything happens to you today, everyone have moved on by tomorrow. We only overrate ourselves. Nigeria don't rate anybody. First things first, I'm really disappointed in my lawyer, Deji Adeyanju. I am so disappointed in you for this post. Especially because you're a comrade. If now regular Nigerians talk this thing, I would say okay because they don't know better. But as you don't make this tweet now, let me enlighten all of you on something. Now, we said if anything happens to you today, Nigerians will move on. It is true. But is there anybody on earth in this world that will die today that the world will not move on? Jesus Christ died, the world move on. Pope of Catholic Church just died, the world don't move on. They don't even get another pope. Diego Jota, Liverpool player, the world don't move on. Let's talk about Buhari, who just recently passed. Buhari, our former president, a very important personality in Nigerian history. Everybody don't move on. What do you think is special about you? There's no human being where go die, where the world no go move on. You know the problem is, Nigerians put a lot of importance to themselves. There's nothing important about you. You are just a human being that this world just be like, it just be like road where all of us they pass. We go end up in the right place, which is in the grave. Do you understand? So when he said, I take risks on unnecessary things, I take unnecessary risks, I don't see them as unnecessary. What are the risks he's talking about? Yelwata. I went to Yelwata. Do you understand? Not just Yelwata. Anytime anything happen, I go there. I go there because I have a platform. And I just want to call the attention of the government to what the people in the rural areas, the underground people, the ghetto people, the villagers, all these people that don't have opportunity for the government to hear their cry. When things happen to them, I just go there to say, hey, government, come and see. For crying out loud, they reported that Yelwata news. Nobody knew that it was that bad until I went there. And to be very honest, the media, there's nothing anybody wants to tell me. The media is controlled in Nigeria. So they would not go and show those things. Do you understand? Those are the unnecessary risks. I don't see them as an unnecessary risk. I am very, very energetic. I'm a young man. I have the purpose. I have the zeal. But Nigerians think that they are so important. Oh, yeah. They can't get one particular quote where they get. They say, if you die now, you lose. Excuse you? What do you mean by that? Can you control that? Do you know what will happen in...
All right, Barrister, it's a little bit long clip. Now, actually, now this is I pulled up the Adeyanju Deji's, is it Twitter platform? I don't know, is it Facebook or Twitter? I can't even remember. They just sent me the screenshot. He said, I call VDM every time to be careful and stop taking unnecessary risk, but he doesn't listen most of the time. If anything happens to you today, everyone has moved on by tomorrow. We only overrate ourselves. Nigerians don't rate anybody. You see, this has been my problem with activism, especially in Nigeria. The activists we have are, what do we call it? Living room activists who just sit on their couches with sipping wine and watching TV or whatever, and probably just using the microphone while all this luxuries are all over them. I don't know what that is. Not activism. We have talked about this very dark man's way of activism. That is what we call activism. An activist is supposed to live a very humble life. An activist is supposed to be ready to die, to take bullets for what he or she stands for. An activist, the activists usually they are fearless, very fearless and aggressive. An activist is just exactly what VDM is doing. He goes to the war front. He goes to the war front where these things are happening. VDM does not just sit in the comfort of his home to criticize government. he actually beams every light on the ills of the system, bringing government to, and most of the things he does, if you take record of everything he has done, the moment anything he steps on, the government always want to do something about it. I bet you it was BVDM who publicized this Yellow Waters situation, where that eventually compelled the evil and wicked President Bola Tinubu to visit that state. It was BVDM's pressure, because VDM brought this thing to limelight, and people, that was what actually spread the news, the negative news, and became the entire globe. It became pressure on the Nigerian government. So I don't understand. First and foremost, this Adeyanju is VDM's personal lawyer. You are my lawyer, barrister. Can you do this? I don't understand why he did this. I don't get it. And he's supposed to be an activist. I don't consider this guy to be an activist. Why will you advise, if something you cannot do, you're not ready to take risk as an activist? Why are you advising someone, another activist, against taking risk? Activism is about risk. Activism does not come. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know what people consider to be activism. Barrister, you as my lawyer, will you give me such advice in the public? Will you put this advice you have this one. You say you've been calling, and so what? He's been calling VDM. He's been talking. Why putting this out? What do you expect? What image are you projecting to the public? Barrister, will you do this? You as a lawyer, will you do this to me?
It is that part of the publication that I disagree with it. He ought to have sat down with Very Dark Man and discussed this issue with him in order to understand the depth, the level, and the reach that Very Dark Man is prepared to go. Thereafter, you take your stand as the lawyer. But rushing to put that out in the public is what I condemn. If I'm somebody's lawyer, if I'm in Deji Adeyanju, I will sit down with him. There is some measure of sense in what Adeyanju said. But then, what he needed to do was to sit down with the Very Dark Man and say, look, my friend, how far are you ready to go with this your activism? Are you ready to put your life on the line? And if you do, is it right now, appropriate now for you to do that? Because you have to, what is the aim of activism? Is to try to bring change, positive change in society. And the reason why most of this has failed is because we are single activists, self-appointed single activists with no organization behind us. We do not bring up people so that if by adventure you die in the struggle, they will carry it forward.
Yeah.
That is the missing link. So I will sit down with him and say, look, you have not yet put together a credible organization with people you have brought up that if something happens to you, they will carry this fight forward so that the desired change will come. So take your steps gradually while you build support and you build some organization. They may be faceless at that point. You don't even have to put a name to it. But raise up people, because this is a continuous struggle. It's not a one-man issue. One man will not succeed in changing what we have in Nigeria today. It has to be a build-up of a group together with the population that will end up, because people have died. People have died and nothing happened. What they sought to achieve was not achieved. So it is important for us to, and that is why revolutions are better, because revolutions are backed up by a credible group that now gets the population behind. So that even if you take up the leadership, the revolutions continue. The people struggling and fighting continue.
Barrister.
Today, Very Dark Man is alone. is alone. People have that. Even the great Gani Fawemi died. He was an activist in all respect. He did not achieve what he set out to achieve because who were behind him? Who were the people he raised to carry it forward? Virtually nobody. So I will sit down with him and say, let us plan this thing properly. Let us plan this thing properly. That's just what I'm saying. It is not right for him to say that to the public. He should have discussed with his
but according to what he said, he
how
discussed it. He has been saying it. That's what he said. He's been calling VDM.
that is not discussion. That is not. This is a serious matter. Can you tell I call you on the phone and say don't do this, don't do? Is that a discussion? Let the person understand why you are saying this, and let him also say why he wants to go forward. You have that healthy discussion, and if he says I'm ready, then you. That's the end of it.
Okay.
You as the lawyer,
All right.
you have to take the instruction of the client.
All right. Honestly, I am of different opinion. I am on the side of VDM 100% on this. I am against everything that Adeyanju has done. Honestly, everything. I'm on the side of this guy because let me tell you one thing. This is an issue of activism. It has to do with spirit. It has to do with passion. Look, I have always advocated for someone who will look. This issue of we die or something will happen. No, we will die and everybody will move on. That has been the bane of the Nigerian system. Because the problem is people don't, that mentality is there. You will die and the war will move on. Just like VDM said, nobody will die and the war will not move on. Anybody, no matter how important you are, he mentioned something. Jesus Christ died and the world moved on. People moved on. Isn't it? This is the most, this we are talking about God in person, actually.
Let me cut you short. There. Jesus Christ died and the world moved on, but he left an organization that is still affecting the world today.
Yeah, okay. Now, that is
the difference.
Yeah.
That is the difference.
Okay, I agree with you on that, but let me tell you one thing. Now, anyway, using Jesus Christ as a scenario, because that's a spiritual stuff, and that is the purpose was divine, so that's a different thing entirely. But the truth is that nobody dies and the world doesn't move on, no matter how important, including those people you talked about having an organization behind them. They will die, and sometimes even the organizations die. So let me be frank with you. The thing is that every human being has a purpose in life. And always you strive hard to fulfill this purpose. Some people are so weak that they don't even know what their purpose in life are, or purpose in life is. So the moment there is a little challenge, they chicken out. But anyone that knows his or her purpose, discovers his or her purpose, will obviously develop this passion. And this passion is very, very strong that will push this purpose. Now, VDM has found his purpose in life. This is his purpose. Whether he dies in this purpose or he lives on with this purpose, that is inconsequential, just like what he said. And I agree with him 100%. The most important is that he has achieved something. He may not have achieved it overall, but at least he has fulfilled his own mandate, his own purpose in life. That's exactly what he's doing. So nobody should stop him from doing what he's doing. I admire him. I support him. I am 100% with him. If I were in his shoes, I would do the same thing. I will go and take bullet for what I believe in. So nobody should discourage him from doing that. What he's doing it perfectly well. Perfectly well. Nobody should take that away from him. Nobody should dissuade him, to discourage him from doing that. And I believe the guy has a very strong spirit. He is not perturbed. He's not moved. He will not renege in what he's doing. And that is just it. So, Barrister, this issue of activism, that because if you, just like you said, that you have to have a follow. VDM has followers. He may not have someone who will inherit it, because this is not an organization. These are things that are done. Anything that is spontaneous and organic, they are like this VDM of a team. What he's doing today is not organized. The man, this is what we call the real activism. Activism is not something you organize. spontaneous, the real activism that yields result. It's not something you organize because it is not selfish. It is a selfless projection of oneself. And that is just it. And when it is the moment it is selfless, it means you are ready to take bullet for anyone for what you stand for. And that's exactly what this man is doing. He's enjoying it, and he's passionate about it. He's enthusiastic about it. He's energized about it. So that is what matters. So people should stop, allow this man to do what he's doing. And that is just it. I honestly, I'm on his side 100. This man is making impact. Anything, whatever whatever the government was supposed to do or is supposed to do and fails to do it, and the thing is serious, the moment this VDM beams his satellite on this issue, government acts immediately. That is what we want. It may not be bringing that revolutionary change, but it is bringing those small changes. That's those systematically. At least it's helping some people, because most of the intervention eventually helped someone. All the interventions he made has helped people, either en masse, most times individually. He's helping people, for God's sake. He's building people's lives. So I don't see anything wrong, even if he dies in this cause. I can die for what I believe in, and that is just the reality. Like I said, if I were in his shoes, I would do even more, take more risk. If I die, that is it. If I die, I die. Everybody will die anyway. Everybody will die. And besides, one thing I believe in my life is everybody. That is my own belief. Some people just believe that you can live longer than you were designed to live. I don't believe in that. I believe in any time you die. I don't believe in untimely death. That is a wrong when it comes to God. I don't believe in untimely death. Everybody, every human being, the moment you were born, you were created, you were born, God has designed day, time for you to leave this mother earth. You will not go beyond it. You will not come before it. And people will sometimes they quote Hezekiah, what of Hezekiah in the Bible, who lived 15 years above or whatever. That is an isolated case. Is there anybody else who did that? God, sometimes there are isolated cases. If you cannot give, that's why the Bible says, where 2 or 3, Bible requires for you to confirm a standard spiritually, you must have 2 or 3 witnesses in anything. So, and that of Hezekiah was just one. It happened in the entire, from Genesis to Revelation, just happened. So that is an isolated case. It doesn't take away the divine design of that everybody under the sun has time and has limitation to how much life you can live, you will live on earth. So that is just the reality. So whether you do something or not, you will eventually die, and your time will. So VDM, if his time has not reached, he will go to the trenches. He will go to the war front. Bullets will be flying all over him, and none of these bullets will touch him. He will come out unperturbed because his time is not yet. But when his time comes, even in his bedroom, that death will meet him there. So that is why I always tell people something. First of all, find out your purpose in life. Thereafter, pursue that purpose. If your purpose has to do with humanity, face humanity, deal with them, deal with it, and help humanity. And that is what this man is doing. He's into a very, very noble, honorable cause. And honestly, I am 100% behind everything he said on that clip. I agree with him 100%. And everything Adeyanju did, both his action, the way he processed and everything, and his conclusion, I'm 100% against it. That is not the kind of activism we need in Nigeria. We need the kind of activism that VDM is practicing. And that is my take on that.